news alert. President Trump today signing a revised travel ban executive order. The ban temporarily blocks citizens from 6 countries from coming into the United States: Iran, Somalia, Sudan, Yemen, Syria, and Libya. It excludes legal permanent residents and moves Iraq off the 90-day visa ban, but provides enhanced screening for some people. There is no longer an indefinite ban for Syrian refugees, and anyone who had a valid visa before the first executive order was issued is okay to come into the country now. It goes into effect March 16th. Just a short time ago, Secretaries Tillerson and Kelly, along with Attorney General Sessions, announced the revised order, emphasizing it's about keeping America safe.
To our allies and partners around the world, please understand this order is part of our ongoing efforts to eliminate vulnerabilities that radical Islamist terrorists can and will exploit for destructive ends.
All right, so it's out there. We know the details. How do you feel about it?
Yay! Yay! All right. No, I think the rollout's a lot better. You got 3 cabinet secretaries out there pushing it. It's 10 days until it actually gets implemented, but it's absolutely the right public policy. You cannot vet somebody coming out of Libya and have confidence that you can put them into a neighborhood in Nebraska or Iowa or Utah or California and say, you know what, we know because we've done the research that this person has a high degree of probability of not, causing a disruption. And that is the right thing to do. It's exactly what the president said he was going to do. What about the legal challenges
involved?
Oh, there'll be all kinds of legal challenges, but I believe that the president has the right, has the authority, and has the duty to actually make sure that we're vetting people properly before they come to the United States of America. That's
all right. Well, the new EO is out, and as you just mentioned, Tillerson was up there, Sessions was present, Kelly was present. 10 days to roll. Is this going to look and feel different?
Yeah, it definitely has a different perceptual feel than the first one, because the first one felt hasty and somewhat arbitrary and I think too broad, and it gave way too much ammunition to the left, which was in full protest mode still. And I know that you've had some problems at some of these town halls, and it's an addictive chemical they put in that protest ether. People become so agitated by it, so they were just looking for that, and I think this gives them more legal protection. But you do worry that there are only 6 countries on the list. I mean, I don't worry about that. I don't want it to be too totalitarian, but it can be arbitrary because you can have people in Western Europe that we assume have been properly vetted if they've landed in places like Belgium and France, but
right.
Maybe perhaps they have not, and we don't know if we have a proper vetting system
But
yet.
still, only time will tell. If I may be cliche for a moment, Megan, I mean, how does this go the next 10 days?
I think a lot of people who have been critics of President Trump should be optimistic. This shows that he has learned the lessons of the original executive order rollout, which didn't go as smoothly as everyone would like. Me specifically, I like that we have taken out the moral equivalency between Iran and Iraq, given that we have troops still present and fighting in Iraq, and obviously everyone saw what happened with our Iraqi translators, so that's completely off the table. Optically, they don't have the latitude to mess this up this time, and right now I think it looks like, all cylinders are go.
Wow, everybody's so happy, so I'm going to be the outnumbered one because I still have a lot of questions. So there has been some reporting and some fact-checking on how many people have come from those areas, these now 6 countries who are suspected of radicalization or terrorism. So there's some evidence, maybe slight, of some of that. There's a whole lot more that they've come from places like Saudi Arabia, and I know how complicated our political relationship is with them versus these other countries and how big their voice is. We had a lot of people get on planes and other vehicles to come here to kill us. Why isn't Saudi Arabia even hinted at as being on this list?
Look, you can look at Saudi Arabia, you can also look at Pakistan.
Okay, let's look at them. Why are they not on this list?
Well, again, I still think they're going to, the mechanism, though, to do that vetting in those countries is stronger than, say, it is in Libya.
You feel good about that after 9/11?
Well,
trust them?
Nobody feels good about that and what happened in 9/11. Of course not. But they have a very difficult job to go out and vet all of these people. But to highlight these 6 countries, which were highlighted in the Obama administration, is problematic too. You're making the case to expand it to do it even
but not
broader.
arbitrarily.
No.
To look at it based on the criteria that have been listed by the president.
Well, and you got to look at something like 300 people that have come in as refugees that are supposedly being looked at by the Department of Justice. So It's a very difficult job, but I think the rollout and what they're doing here and these 6 countries.
It's different,
but I think you ask a very valid question about Saudi Arabia, and also I would add on to that Pakistan.
All right, we'll leave it there. Meanwhile, the mainstream media reacting with alarm to President Trump's claims the previous administration spied on his campaign, treating the idea as absurd. But is it really? And Attorney General Jeff Sessions submitting amended testimony today about his contacts with Russia's ambassador. But Democrats want him to testify in person. And after the show, of course, you can join our live chat by clicking the Overtime tab at foxnews.com/outnumbered or go to facebook.com/outnumberedfnc. And of course, you can tweet us as well. We will see you there.